The McBee Dynasty. Real American Cowboys has certainly delivered on drama, both on and off screen. With Season 1 having premiered in March 2024 and Season 2 currently airing, the show continues to showcase the lives of the McBee family. Even with patriarch Steve McBee Sr.'s absence from Season 2, the current season remains as eventful as the first. The series centers on the McBee Farm and Cattle Co., founded by Steve Sr. and managed by his sons, Steve Jr., Jesse, and Cole McBee. His fourth son, Braden McBee, has a more limited presence. Key figures also include Galina Salkowska, CFO and former romantic interest of Steve Sr., Christy McBee, Steve Sr.'s ex-wife and mother of the boys, and Tessa Lawler, the family's den mother. McBee Dynasty aims to portray the family's struggles with their relationships, business ventures, and future aspirations. However, the show has been surrounded by various controversies, including those related to past actions of individuals associated with the series. Cole's girlfriend, Casey Adkisson, is among those whose past has recently come to light. Steve Sr.'s legal situation and personal life. Steve Sr. is not appearing in McBee Dynasty Season 2 due to an ongoing investigation into an agricultural insurance matter. He acknowledged involvement in activities from 2018 to 2020 related to the allegations, and faces a significant potential sentence. The investigation is beginning to have implications on the show, as Steve Sr.'s sentencing is scheduled for September 9, 2025. Additionally, Steve Sr.'s personal relationships have generated considerable attention. He was reportedly still married to Christy when he began seeing Galina. Later, he ended his relationship with Galina for her friend Masha, all while engaging in other encounters and maintaining a lifestyle involving extensive social gatherings. Galina's public challenges. Galina has faced public scrutiny. While Steve had communicated his desire not to pursue a committed relationship and to avoid remarrying, Galina was reportedly determined to view him as her ideal partner. By the end of McBee Dynasty Season 1, Galina had moved into Steve's residence, which he found overwhelming. In Season 2, Galina appears distressed after Masha moved into Steve's home. Galina is believed to be connected to damage amounting to $7,000 to Masha's car, and was reportedly seen on video entering Steve's house, which was subsequently found in disarray, with his chickens released. Furthermore, Galina was reportedly seen consuming alcohol during work hours and was unreachable for several days during a critical period for the business. Casey Adkisson's past uncovered. The latest individual in the McBee circle to have their past revealed is Cole's girlfriend, Casey Adkisson. In 2022, Casey was reportedly involved in an incident related to impaired driving, for which she was detained for 12 hours. This information became known through fan discussions. While Casey initially seemed like a more grounded individual among those close to the family, this information suggests otherwise. Although Cole often finds himself in challenging situations, it appears Casey also has a history of facing difficulties. However, she seems to have made significant changes since her arrest. She is pregnant in Season 2 and navigating Cole's challenging conduct, while currently focused on motherhood. Speculation of misconduct within the McBee clan. Another area of discussion among fans of the McBee Dynasty involves Stephen Jr., his girlfriend Kala Jackson, and Christy. Stephen Jr. and Kala have an inconsistent relationship, with Stephen reportedly providing financial support to Kala, who is not employed. Kala reportedly asked Stephen to co-sign for an apartment in Dallas, which requires a substantial income for approval. Stephen indicated he couldn't meet the income requirement on his own and asked his mother, Christy, to co-sign, which she agreed to do. However, fans have raised questions about this arrangement, speculating about potential misconduct. The suspicion intensified during a disagreement between Cole and Kala in a recent episode, where Cole stated, She's on payroll working for Mom. While there is no definitive proof of any wrongdoing, Christie has stated on social media that she had offered Kala employment twice, but Kala did not report for work. Christie also reportedly stated privately that she is covering the cost of Kala's luxury apartment on a 15-month lease and her car. While the information regarding Casey's past is the most recent revelation, several other compelling situations continue to unfold in the McBee Dynasty, Real American Cowboys Season 2. The Texas sun beat down on the parched earth, a relentless golden hammer driving the last moisture from the soil. Steve McBee Jr. squinted, the brim of his cowboy hat offering little relief against the glare. The rhythmic roar of the tractor was a familiar sound, but today it felt like a funeral drum, a beat marking the end of something he couldn't yet name. With his father, Steve Sr., absent, caught in the snare of an agricultural insurance investigation. The weight of the McBee farm and cattle co. had fallen squarely onto his shoulders. The McBee Dynasty, as the show had named it, felt less like a kingdom and more like a crumbling fortress. His phone buzzed, a jarring intrusion into the solitude of the field. It was Cole, his youngest brother, and the urgency in his voice cut through the tractor's engine. "You gotta get to Dad's house. It's Galina." The name alone was a trigger. Galina Solkowska, the former CFO and one of his father's many romantic entanglements, had become a ghost in the machine of the family's drama. She was a constant, simmering reminder of the chaos Steve Sr. left in his wake. He pulled up to the sprawling ranch house, the site a confirmation of his worst fears. The lawn was a mess, littered with broken pots and a trail of white feathers. The front door hung slightly ajar, and from inside, he heard the faint, frantic clucking of chickens. He pushed the door open, a wave of cold fury washing over him. The living room, once meticulously kept by his father's fastidious standards, was a tableau of senseless destruction. Furniture was overturned, a vase lay shattered, and a flock of his father's prize-winning chickens strutted across the expensive hardwood floors, leaving their tiny, clawed footprints on the polished wood. He found the worst of it outside. Masha's luxury car, a new import his father had bought for her, was a wreck. The windshield was spider-webbed with cracks, and the once pristine paint was scored with deep, vicious gouges. He stood there, a sense of profound exhaustion settling over him. It wasn't just a car, it was another debt, another mess he had to clean up. Galina's emotional unraveling was a public spectacle, and he was the one left to manage the fallout. Later that evening, the family gathered for a tense dinner at his mother Christie's house. The air was thick with unspoken grievances. Christie, ever the matriarch, was trying to maintain a semblance of normalcy, but even she looked strained. Braden, the fourth son, sat quietly, observing the fray. Jesse, a steadying presence, was uncharacteristically silent. The only ones who seemed oblivious were Cole and his pregnant girlfriend, Casey Adkisson. They were wrapped up in their own world, a bubble of hope and anxiety. Steve Jr. caught Cole's eye, a silent question passing between them. Cole just shrugged, a nervous energy radiating from him. Casey, usually so grounded, seemed distracted. He knew from fan chatter online about her past, a 2022 impaired driving incident, but he had seen her work to change, to build a new life for herself and the baby. He knew she was trying, but the McBee world had a way of dredging up the past. The fragile piece of the dinner shattered when Steve Jr. broached the subject of his girlfriend, Kala Jackson, and the apartment lease. "I don't understand, Mom," he began. "Why did you co-sign a lease with Kala? We've talked about it, and you know how tight things are. I'm worried about appearances." Christie's face tightened. "She's a good girl, Steve. She needed help. And besides, I'm the one paying for it." "Exactly," Cole interjected, his voice rising. "She's on payroll working for Mom." The words hung in the air, a grenade with the pin pulled. Steve Jr. felt a hot flash of anger. The implication, The suspicion of misconduct that had been brewing online was now a loud accusation at his mother's dinner table. He turned on Cole. "What's that supposed to mean, Cole? You think Mom is doing something shady? You think Cala is taking advantage of us? I don't know what to think anymore." Cole shot back, his face flushed. "Nothing is what it seems with this family. We're all in this mess because of Dad, and now everyone's making their own little side deals." Their argument escalated, a cacophony of frustrations that had been building for months. The farm was struggling. His father was facing a September sentencing that could destroy everything. Galina was tearing her life apart and taking theirs with her. And now the whispers of financial impropriety between his girlfriend and his mother. "She needs help, Steve." Christy finally burst out, tears welling in her eyes. "She needs a job, and she needs to not be dependent on you. I tried to give her one, twice, but she never showed up. So I took care of her. I couldn't let my son's girlfriend be homeless." Tessa Lawler, the family's den mother, placed a gentle hand on Christy's shoulder. "Christy has a big heart, Steve. She only wants what's best for you boys."